we don't abandon the patent system. We just accelerate it. The whole system is cooked. And the idea, and it sounds smart, is why protect your idea with a patent, which takes, 2 or 3 years to get, when AI, the innovation cycle compresses down to a few days. So by the time you get your patent, you're already out of the loop and someone has designed around you. So to them, the patent system is cooked. But I think that's the wrong approach. It's not the right question because patents, if you back up, these serve the primary function of patents is public disclosure. I think most people overlook that, or Silicon Valley has forgotten that. Primary idea of patents is that you have to disclose sufficient such that one of ordinary skill can read your patent and make your invention. And the barter, the exchange for that is that you get a limited monopoly for 20 years from the filing date to monetize your invention. That's the basic bargain between patents. The government, the US government, will give you a monopoly power over your idea so you can recoup your investment. In exchange, you got to make your idea public to the world so the rest of the world can build off of it going on to the future. So now you have a corpus of patents over the last 200 years, millions of documents that describe all the most significant innovations in the last 200 years. What is that? That's training data. That's a corpus that will
Mm-hmm.
train training data. And you have an incentive system where you disclose, and so you can build off of that continually. And I think that's what's overlooked continually. You want people to disclose. If you keep everything in a trade secret, think about how far back we would be right now. And there's a couple of examples of that. So what I think is the issue is that we don't abandon the patent system. We just accelerate it. If time and efficiency are the biggest concerns, are the biggest complaints about the patent system, let's just make it faster. So instead of waiting 3 to 5 years for a patent, compress it down into months. So
So
now,
how the hell do you do that? Because I have several patents, and they both got violated. But it took a long time to get those through, and then to defend them was just like it's so much money to defend your position that it was like you know decided no, we're not going to do that. It was just the return wasn't there. So um, now I went afield there, and I lost my train of thought.
how do we achieve that? I think you know my
Quicker,
answer.
yeah. So how do you get it
AI,
done more quickly? That was where I was going.
AI. So right now, Director Squire, who's the new director at the USPTO, he's launched a lot of tools and efforts which have been around actually, but they're really taking advantage where you use AI. So now I use AI to draft the patents. Patent Office uses AI to examine the patents. So eventually, you have AI to AI working together, and you compress that time frame down from months to hopefully from years down to months, perhaps to days. Who knows? Maybe even to seconds. Right now, there's a couple barriers here. So there's paper, right? You got to file PDF documents,
Hmm.
and a lot of it is just formalities. Imagine if you could create an API, which surprisingly the patent office doesn't have yet. There's no API for prosecuting patent. They have one for downloading documents, but for the prosecution process, it's still paper. You still fill out forms and you submit it, which is shocking to me.
Yeah.
Imagine if it was an API with JSON, you could get the application ready and in right order in minutes, right? Instead of months.